Hello my little rays of sunshine. How are you all doing out there today? I'm Michelle the Introvert, and today I have something fun and special planned in my kitchen. As you all know, or most of you know, I have a vegetable garden that I was growing this summer, and I did very well this summer on zucchini. I had a lot of zucchini growing in my garden this year, so that was really great to have this much zucchini. So I thought, with this much zucchini, I might as well do something fun, a special treat for this time of the year. And I was thinking about a dessert, a specific dessert, to use up some of this zucchini. So I went online and I found a wonderful recipe on zucchini cake. And I copied this out. And there's the lady's name right there who I got this recipe from online. So I copied it all out. It's quite long. There's some on the front and some on the back. But we can walk through this together slowly and just take our time and enjoy ourselves as we go through this. It'll be my first time making this recipe, but it looks so good. I thought it would be nice to share it with you all. Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun, I think. Here's a nice close-up of the ingredients for the cake part of this recipe. And we'll start here. 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Can substitute 1 teaspoon with other spices such as allspice and nutmeg. Go easy on cloves. 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 3 large eggs, 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of vegetable oil, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of lemon zest, optional, 3 to 4 medium zucchini, grated, unpeeled, and with the moisture pressed out through a sieve to equal 2 cups. 1 cup of chopped walnuts or pecans, and if anybody out there, of course, is allergic to walnuts or pecans, don't worry about putting that in the recipe, of course. And lastly, 1/2 cup of golden raisins, which is optional. And here's the recipe part here for the frosting. It looks quite easy. 3 ounces, or in other words, 6 tablespoons of cream cheese, softened to room temperature. 1/4 a cup of unsalted butter, room temperature, but you can also use margarine too, instead. 1.5 to 2 cups of powdered sugar. And here's a little look at the method. I will leave this here for a minute just in case someone wants to copy this out for their own recipe books and for their own use. But there's also some instructions on the back. So let's now proceed on to making this wonderful cake. On my countertop I have pretty much all of my ingredients that I'm going to need for the cake part of the recipe. And you'll probably be seeing a lot of Tupperware as I proceed because I'm a huge fan of Tupperware. There's Tupperware here, and Tupperware here. And there's my zucchini right there, all ready to go. So let's get started, my friends. on to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And it says here in these instructions that I can use a 9x12 pan or 9x13 pan, or I can also use one of these here for angel food cakes. So I think I'm going to go this route today. I'll use this here, and I've already sprayed it with some of this Pam non-stick cooking spray. So I'm just going to start emptying my batter into my pan. So that's the next step. The batter looks quite nice, and you can see the small pieces of zucchini in the batter. And it smells quite good so far, even though it's just batter. It's not baking yet. So we'll get started with this. I'm really looking forward to trying this cake. And here it is. It's all set for me to put in the oven. The cake is in the oven, and because it's in a bundt cake pan, the pans that you use for angel food cake, it has to be baked for an hour. It'll take an hour for it to bake in the oven. But if it was in a 9x12 or 9x13, it would only take 45 minutes according to the directions here. And I do have to admit something here to you. I did the cake recipe today in a very quick way. It's the easy method, but there is a method here that it's written down that takes a little bit longer. The steps take a little bit longer, and it's all written down if you prefer to have your dry ingredients mixed first and then your wet ingredients mixed second. But to me, I just put them all in my green Tupperware bowl. I'm sure it'll work fine either way, but I thought I'd mention that to you because there's a couple ways, the quicker method and then the ways that they have written down here. But I will definitely show you the result of this wonderful zucchini cake. I can smell it already in the oven, and it smells very, very good. I'm sure it'll be very tasty. In this bowl, I have the powdered sugar, or the icing sugar. I have that all measured in here. Plus I have the cream cheese and the margarine. And because I'm using a bundt cake pan, I thought I better double the frosting recipe because I want the frosting to cover the whole cake, not just a small part of it. So I'm just gonna let this sit on the counter. I'll put a tea towel over it and let this soften up. And while the cake cools down, or when the cake cools down, I'll gladly and happily put this frosting on the cake. While I'm waiting for the cake, I wanted to show you what I used to grate my zucchini. Now I have this grater here, and I use it quite a bit for different projects, baking or cooking, but I also have something else. And it starts with a capital T. Yes, Tupperware. I absolutely love Tupperware. I love vintage Tupperware, and that's what this is. And you can see the grater right here. And this here I think is for slicing cheese, this part here. It has little ridges on it. And all I do, for anybody who's never seen one of these before, if you want to take this off after grating the zucchini here, you turn this. You turn this. Okay, there we go. And this is where you get the zucchini from, in there, after it's all grated. And of course I scrape down the inside because there's usually little pieces of zucchini on this part as well. No, but it's very easy and it works really well. And it's a lot of fun to use. It's nice to use things that are vintage, part of history. The cake is baked, and so far it looks quite good. I'm just going to let this cool down a tiny little bit. Then I'll take it out of the pan and let it cool down on this here. Is all done, and I'll give you guys a really nice close-up. There's a little bit of a close-up of my zucchini cake with cream cheese frosting. And now for a taste test. Here's a close-up of what the cake looks like inside. You can see the walnuts in there. And the lovely frosting, the lovely icing. And now for the taste test. Oh yes, and did you notice? Tupperware! Some more vintage Tupperware. Here's to you all. This is very, very good. And you can see the green in there, the green specks of zucchini inside, and the walnuts too. Boy, this is very, very good. I'm happy I made this. And now I know I can use this recipe when I want to use up more and more of my zucchinis. And this would be great if company came over, or it would be great when visiting family too. Well, my friends, I want to thank you so much for joining me today as I made a zucchini cake, and it turned out beautiful. If you like this vlog, please give me the YouTube thumbs up or press that subscribe button. That would be great. And I have more vlogs coming up, so stay tuned, and I'll talk to you all soon. Talk to you soon. Bye. Put it back on. Let's see if this will work for me. It usually does, but since I'm trying to show you this here today, maybe it won't cooperate. Fun to use. It's nice to use things that are vintage, part of history. And just to put it back on here, I'm still getting used to. So I'm still getting used to using this. It's not hard to use, it's just a matter of getting the knack of it, really. Okay, just a sec. I think, oh, I'm just supposed to turn it and it's supposed to sit right in. It goes on easy, just a sec. Oh, there it is, I didn't break it.